Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is Anuta, the Crochet World, and if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please subscribe to my channel, like, share and comment on my videos. And today we're going to do this beautiful pattern for our crochet hook case. Now I've made this crochet hook case in a book kind of pattern, and it looks like this. And here it is. You can open it. And this is my crochet hook case. Now here I've used my 100% premium acrylic yarn, and I've used 6 mm of the hook. Now this hook case is about 11 inches or 28 centimeters long, and if you open it, it's about 14 inches or 36 centimeters wide. Now I've made this one a little bit bigger. Now I've made this bigger because I want to adjust this hooks here, and for that reason I've made this a little bit bigger so that I can have some space in here and some space on the top as well. Now if you have some more hooks and if you want to insert your hooks in this way, you can even have the third layer here. So as I've made these pockets here and I've inserted this hooks in here, so within this one pocket I have put my 2 hooks. But if you have some more hook just like me, you can even use the inner side of this case like this, and that's why I've made this a little bit bigger so that I can manage my lots of hooks here. I have even more than this, something like this. I have so many hooks, and if you have so many hooks like me, you probably need this size. So here I have this crochet hook case, and it closes up this way, and it's all done. And here I've used my honeycomb stitch. And here I've started up my project from here. So I went on this way, then in the middle, then I finish up the other side, and then I've started making my outer layer. So there are 2 layers here. One is this one, the inside one, and this outer layer. And we have made this both the outer layers, and then we have done our edges with this loop, and at the end with this button. So that's it, and I hope you're going to enjoy this one. So let's begin. Okay, so for this one I've taken my 100% premium acrylic yarn, and I've used my 6 mm of the hook. Now here I'm going to have a slip knot, and now I'm going to chain up 32 here. 3, 2. So for that one, 1, 2, 3. So that's our 32 chains. And now this is the back portion of my first chain. Here it is. This is the back portion of my first chain, and this is the back portion of my second chain. Now I'm going to insert my hook into this second chain. So for that one, just insert your hook into your second chain, the back portion of your second chain, and grab your yarn and yarn over and pull your yarn through to loop, and that's your first single crochet. Now we're going to have 1 single crochet on each chain, and by the end of this round we're going to have our 31 single crochets. 3, 1. So keep on doing 1 single crochet on each stitch for your row number 1, and I'm going to meet you after my 31 single crochets. And here it is. After my row number 1, I have my 31 single crochets, and now for the row number 2. Now remember, the row number 2 is quite a longer row. It will not finish up in here. It will go up and down. So keep an eye on my row number 2, what I'm doing on row number 2. And it is a crucial row because we're going to repeat our row number 2 and row number 3 for another several rows. So keep an eye on the row number 2, and make sure when I will say that this is the end of my row number 2, only then our row number 2 will end. So keep an eye on our row number 2. Now here, as we are starting up our row number 2, I'm going to chain up 2, 1 and 2, and this chain 2 we are not going to count as our stitch. I'm just chaining up this chain 2 to reach up to that height. Now I'm going to turn my work, and remember this chain 2 is not our stitch. Now I'm going to yarn over and we'll insert our hook into our this first stitch, and we'll grab my yarn and we'll make my first double crochet. So this is my first double crochet, this is my first stitch, not this chain 2. And now for another next 10 stitches, I'm gonna have 1 double crochet into 1 stitch into each stitch. So this is my first double crochet, and another 10 double crochets. In total we are going to have 11 double crochets here. So just have 1 double crochet into each stitch, and you're going to have 11 double crochets. And here it is, we have our 11 double crochets. And now for this remaining 20 stitches, we're going to have 1 double crochet into each stitch, but back loop only. So here I'm going to yarn over, and I will, instead of putting my hook into this 2 loops, I will take only the back loop. So here I will insert my hook into this back loop only, like this, and will grab my yarn and will make my 1 double crochet. Again, yarn over and into this next stitch, take your back loop and make your 1 double crochet. And now keep on doing 1 double crochet into each stitch for the next 20 stitches, and all your stitches, all your double crochets would be back loop only. And this is not the end of our row number 2. We keep on doing our row number 2. So I'm going to meet you after my this 20 stitches, 20 double crochets, back loop only. And sorry, I forgot to tell you that if you want, you can put your stitch marker on this first double crochet back loop only. So here it is, this is my first stitch, and I'm going to insert my hook, I'm going to insert my stitch marker here. Sorry, I forgot to tell you that. So insert your stitch marker on your first back loop stitch, your first back loop double crochet. And here it is, we have our 20 double crochets back loop only. And now I'm going to yarn over and I will work on this front loop. So these are the front loops, and now we're going to work on this front loop, and I'm going to insert my hook into this front loop. So yarn over and insert your hook into your first front loop. Now grab your yarn. You're going to have 3 loops, yarn over and pull your yarn through 2 loops, yarn over and pull your yarn through 2 loops, and that's your first double crochet for front loop. So as we have finished up doing our stitches on the back loop, we are now going to take this front loops and we will do 1 double crochet into each front loop stitch. And here it is, my another 20 stitches, another double crochet front loop only is done. And here we have form up of pockets here. Now to join these 2 parts, we haven't finished our row number 2 yet, so keep that in mind. And now for this row number 2, we will continue doing our stitches. So for that one, I'm going to chain 1 and I will turn my work here. And now this is my chain 1, and I'm going to insert my hook into my this first stitch, and I will insert my hook into my this first stitch of my back loop only. Now remember, we have put our stitch marker here, and that is why we have put our stitch marker here. So take the stitch marker out, and now grab your yarn, and you're going to have 2 loops. Now yarn over and pull your yarn through 2 loops, and that's your first single crochet. And that is how we are going to attach these 2 parts, and we're going to form a pocket here. Again, into the next stitch, we're going to insert our hook into the second part as well. So the back loop and the front loop, we're going to insert our hook into both the parts. We will grab the yarn, and we're going to have 2 loops. Yarn over and pull your yarn through 2 loops, and that's your second single crochet. Now keep on doing your 1 single crochet on your both the parts to attach that both the parts, and you're going to have your 20 single crochets in here after attaching all of your this double crochets. And I'm going to meet you after my this 20 single crochets. Okay, so here it is, I have my last 20 single crochets, and this is the end of our row number 2. So remember what we have done here. As the starting of our row number 2, we have chain up to here, and then 11 double crochets into the first 11 stitches, and then the next 20 stitches we have made back loop only double crochets, and then we have come up to the front loop and we have started doing our front loop double crochets 20 front loop double crochets, and then chain 1 and then 20 single crochets. And this is the end of my row number 2. Now for the row number 3, and row number 3 is another crucial row. So for that one, chain 1 and turn your work and insert your hook into your this first stitch, grab your yarn and make your first single crochet. And now keep on doing 1 single crochet into each stitch for the next 20 stitches. So keep on doing 1 single crochet into each stitch, and I will meet you after my 20 single crochets. And here it is. That's my 20 single crochets. And now after doing my this 20 single crochets, I will yarn over and will insert my hook into my this next stitch, will grab my yarn and will make my double crochet. So after 20 single crochets, for the next or for the last 11 stitches, we're going to have 1 double crochet into each stitch, not the single crochet but the double crochet. So this is our first double crochet, and keep on doing your 1 double crochet into each stitch for this remaining 11 stitches. And it's here, and it looks like this. Now again, for our row number 4, we're going to repeat our row number 2. So for that one, we're going to chain up 2 and turn your work, yarn over and insert your hook into your first stitch and make your first double crochet. And for the first 11 stitches, we're going to have 1 double crochet into each stitch. And here it is. I have my 11 double crochets here for my row number 4, and now I'm going to do my 1 double crochet into each stitch for the next 20 stitches, all back loop only. So this is my first double crochet, back loop only, and I will insert my stitch marker here so that when I will have to attach my work, I will remember that this is my 12th stitch. Now let's do 1 double crochet into each stitch, all back loop only, for your next 20 stitches, and I'm going to meet you after my this 20 stitches for my this row number 4. And here it is. I have my 20 stitches, back loop only, and now I'm going to yarn over and will insert my hook into my this front loop, and I will do it directly and grab the yarn and will make my first double crochet for my front loop only. And now keep on doing 1 double crochet into each front loop, and I will meet you after my 20 double crochets. And here it is. I have my 20 double crochets, front loop only, and now I'm going to chain 1 and will turn my work and will insert my hook into my this first stitch and my this 12th stitch from the beginning, and grab the yarn, and I'm going to have 2 loops, 1 and 2. Now yarn over and pull your yarn through 2 loops. If you want, you can take out the stitch marker. And now as we're going to attach these 2 parts, we're going to have 20 single crochets, 1 single crochet on each stitch from both the parts. And here it is. I have my 20 single crochets, and that is the end of my row number 4. Now for my row number 5, I'm going to repeat row number 3. So for that one, I'm going to chain 1 and I'm going to have 1 single crochet on each stitch for next 20 stitches. And here it is. After my 20 single crochets for my row number 5, I'm going to yarn over and will insert my hook into my this next stitch and will do my double crochet. So for the next 11 stitches or remaining 11 stitches, we are going to have 1 double crochet into each stitch. And here it is. I've finished my row number 5, and here we have formed up a pocket here. So here, this is the biggest one, the 12mm one, and I'm going to insert them inside, and yes, it's going perfectly well. This is the 5mm one, but this is with the grip, so this one as well will go inside. And it's perfectly all right. So the size is perfectly all right. And now we are going to repeat our row number 2 and row number 3 until our row number 11. So as we have done our row number 5, another 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 rows, we're going to do the same. We're going to repeat row number 2 and 3 until our row number 11. and I'm gonna meet you after my row number 11. And here it is. After my row number 11, my work looks like this, and here I've formed 5 pockets: 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now if you want to build more pockets, you can easily go ahead and keep on repeating your row number 2 and 3, and you can have as many pockets you want. I'm gonna have 5 pockets here, and then the 5 pockets on the other side, as well, as we are doing it in a book shape. So that's 5 and another 5. So total is gonna be 10 pockets, and 10 pockets gonna be enough for me. But in case of you want some more, you can always add up your rows here. Now after finishing up my this row number 11, I'm gonna go to my row number 12. Now if you are adding up other pockets into your project, please finish up your pockets, as many pockets you want, and then do this row number 12. So for the row number 12, I'm gonna chain up 1 here and will turn my work, and now I'm gonna have 1 single crochet on each stitch until the end of this row. So in total I'm gonna have my 31 single crochets for my row number 12. So just keep on doing 1 single crochet on each stitch, and I'm gonna meet you after my row number 12. Here it is. After my row number 12, I have my 31 single crochet. And now for the row number 13, I'm gonna chain 1 and will turn my work, and I'm gonna insert my hook into the back loop of my stitch, of my first stitch. So this is my first stitch, and instead of putting my hook in that, I'm gonna go on the back loop and grab the yarn, and will make my 1 single crochet into each stitch. So that's my 1 single crochet on each stitch, back loop only, and I'm gonna have my 31 single crochets, all back loop only. And here it is. After my row number 13, I have my 31 single crochets, back loop only, and now I'm gonna put my stitch marker into the front loop of my this last stitch. I've already worked on the back loop, and I'm gonna put my stitch marker into this front loop. Now I'm doing this because we're gonna make the outer layer as well, and then after making our outer layer, we're gonna attach our work in here. So this stitch marker is gonna stay in here. Okay, now after our row number 13, I'm gonna chain 1 and will turn my work, and we'll do 1 single crochet into each stitch until the end of my this project. So insert your hook into your chain 1 and turn your work and insert your hook into your first stitch. Grab your yarn and make your 1 single crochet, and keep on doing 1 single crochet into each stitch until the end of your stitches, and you're gonna have your 31 single crochets. Okay, after finishing my row number 14, for the row number 15, again I'm gonna chain 1 and will turn my work. And now I'm gonna have 1 single crochet on each stitch, back loop only. So insert your hook into the back loop of your first stitch, grab your yarn and make your 1 single crochet, and keep on doing 1 single crochet into each stitch from the previous round, and all single crochets would be back loop only. And by the end of this row number 15, you're gonna have your 31 single crochets, all back loop only. And here it is. My row number 15 is done, and I have my all 31 single crochets, back loop only. And now I'm gonna put the stitch marker on my this front loop of my row number 14. Remember, we have already worked on the back loop, and we have made our this row number 15. So into the front loop, just insert your stitch marker. Again, we're gonna attach our outer layer here, and that's why we are putting the stitch marker, so that we will remember that these are the rows we're gonna work on. Now after finishing my this row number 15, again I'm gonna repeat row number 2 and 3 until my row number 25. So here we have 5 pockets, and I'm gonna make another 5 pockets in here. So I'm gonna repeat my row number 2 and row number 3 for my row number 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, and 25. So until row number 25, we're gonna repeat our row number 2 and 3. And here it is. After my row number 25, my work looks like this, and I have 5 pockets on both the sides. And now for my row number 26, here I'm gonna chain one and will turn my work. And now, so chain one, and I'm gonna insert my hook into my this first stitch back loop only. So only the back loop. Will grab the yarn, and I'm gonna have 2 loops, and will have my single crochet, and my single crochets will be back loop only. So here for round number 26, we are gonna have 1 single crochet on each stitch until the end of this line, until the end of this row, and we're gonna have our 31 single crochets, and all single crochets will be back loop only. And here it is. I have my 31 stitches, back loop only, all single crochet. And now I'm gonna put my stitch marker in the front loop. Later on we are gonna attach our this work, so that's why I've put my stitch marker here. Now after finishing up our row number 26, for row number 27, chain 1, turn your work, and have 1 single crochet on each stitch. So just set your hook into your first stitch, and then your 1 single crochet, your second single crochet, and keep on doing 1 single crochet on each stitch for row number 27, and you're gonna have your 31 single crochets. And here it is. After my row number 27, I will chain 1 and will turn my work, and for row number 28, I'm gonna have 1 single crochet on each stitch, and that's gonna be my 31 single crochets. And I'm gonna meet you after my this row number 28. Okay, so after my row number 28, my work looks like this. And now for row number 29, I'm gonna chain 1 and will turn my work. And now for the row number 29, I'm gonna insert my hook into my this first stitch, will grab my yarn, and will make my 1 single crochet here. And for my second single crochet, instead of putting my hook into this second stitch, I will go down on my row number 27. So this is my row number 28, and this is my row number 27. So I will insert my hook into my second stitch of my row number 27. So I will go down 2 rows, and I will have my longer single crochet. So I will pull the yarn in this way. I will pull the yarn in this way. So this is the longer strain of yarn, and this is my second single crochet. Now for the third single crochet, I will insert my hook into my third stitch, will grab my yarn, and will make my 1 normal single crochet. For the fourth stitch, again I will skip this part. I will skip this stitch. This is the third stitch of my row number 27, and this is the fourth stitch of my row number 27, and I will grab my yarn, and I will make a longer single crochet through that fourth stitch. Again into the fifth one, we're gonna have 1 normal single crochet, and into the sixth one, again skip this part, skip this one, skip this part, this one, and we will go in this part. So here, grab your yarn, and your sixth one will be your longer single crochet, and your pattern will look like this. And now keep on doing this pattern. So 1 single crochet would be your normal single crochet, and the second single crochet would be your longer single crochet, inserting your hook into your row number 27 and making a longer single crochet here. A longer single crochet. And I'm gonna meet you after my this row number 29. It looks like this. And I'm gonna have 31 stitches in total, and I'm gonna meet you after that. And here it is. I have my 30 single crochets, and that's gonna be my last single crochet, my 31 single crochet for my row number 29. Now remember, row number 29, 30, 31 and 32 gonna be the crucial rows, which we're gonna repeat all the way to make our pattern. So this is row number 29, and now another row number 30. That's gonna be another crucial row. So for that one, chain 1, turn your work, and now we're going to insert our hook into this first stitch, our first single crochet. Grab the yarn and make your first single crochet. Now into the next stitch, insert your hook, grab your yarn and make another single crochet. Now here you can find out your V's. So this is your V here. Now this is your V. You can see a V here, and this is your another V. You can see another V here. So that's your two V's, 1 and 2. Now we're going to take this second part of the V. Let me just show you the back of V. This one here. So here is your first V and here is your second V. So we're going to take this second strain of yarn and this first strain of yarn of your second V, and after making our 2 normal single crochets, we will insert into the second strain of yarn of your first V, and the first strain of yarn of your second V. We'll grab the yarn and we will make our single crochet here. Now again, the next stitch we're going to have 1 normal single crochet, and again, as we already have taken the second strain of yarn here, this remaining strain of yarn of the second V, we will take that one, and the first strain of yarn of your second V, we will take that one, we will grab our yarn and yarn over and make your single crochet here. Again, the next one will be the normal single crochet, and here again, as this remaining strain of yarn of your V, and the next strain of yarn of your next V, take these 2 strains and grab your yarn. Now yarn over and pull your yarn through both the loops. Next one will be a normal single crochet, and again we will take the 2 parts of the 2 V's from the bottom and we will make our single crochet. And we will keep on doing this pattern. We will continue doing this pattern. So keep on doing keep on taking your this 2 strings of yarn of your this 2 V's and attach them and make your pattern, and the next stitch would be your normal single crochet. And by the end of this round, you're going to have your 31 single crochets, 31 stitches, and you're going to build your pattern as well. And here it is. For round number 30, I've made my 29 stitches here, and I'm gonna make another last 2 single crochets, and for that last 2 single crochets would be our normal single crochets for our round number 30. So it's gonna be your 2 normal single crochets, stitch number 30 and stitch number 31, and your pattern is here. It looks like this. So round number 29 and 30, and now for round number 31, that's gonna be another crucial row. I'm gonna chain 1 and will turn my work. Now here, as we have this longer single crochets, what we have done is for round number 29, we made first a normal single crochet and then the longer single crochet. Now for round number 31, we will go to make a longer single crochet. Now to make a longer single crochet, you will find your star here. Now this is your row number 30, end of 29 and 30. So this is your star just next to your this longer single crochet. That is a star. So insert your hook into that star, grab your yarn, and here for row number 31, your first stitch would be a longer single crochet. Yarn over and pull your yarn, and that's your longer single crochet. The next stitch would be your normal single crochet, and again the third stitch would be your longer single crochet. Now this is the stitch where you have made your, this is the stitch where you have put your hook in, skip this longer single crochet, and here you will find your another star. This is your another star. So we're going to insert our hook in here, and always make sure that at the back, when you are doing this stitch, your hook should come out from this V. So it has to be, your hook has to be between these two parts of your V, and grab your yarn over and pull your yarn like this. The next one will be normal single crochet, and the next one will be your longer single crochet, and for that one skip this longer single crochet and you will find your star here. You are working on this line, so you will find your star here. Again, check out, your hook should come out from this V at the back, and grab your yarn and make a longer single crochet here. Again, the next stitch will be your normal single crochet, and again the next stitch would be your longer single crochet. So you are working on this line, and next to this longer single crochet you will find your star here. So this is your star, and set your hook in here, and your hook should come out in between this V, and take your yarn and make a longer single crochet. Now keep on repeating this pattern for round number 31. So here, round number 31, we're going to have our first longer single crochet, then normal, then longer, then normal, then longer, then longer. And by the end of this round number 31, we are going to have our 31 stitches, and I'm going to meet you at the end. So keep on repeating this pattern here. And now here it is, after my this 30 stitches of my round number 31, here I'm going to make my last stitch. Now here on my this last stitch, that's going to be my longer single crochet, and for that one I'm going to insert my hook into here. This is my star, so I will insert my hook in here. I will grab my yarn, and what we do is we just normally yarn over and we pull our yarn, but here you're going to have your gap. So to avoid this gap, I will insert my hook into my this last stitch, grab my yarn, and I will take one strain of yarn from here just to attach. Now I will yarn over and I will pull my yarn through all 3 loops here, so there will be no gap here. So to avoid that gap, I will do my last stitch of my round number 31 in this way. Now for round number 32, I'm going to chain 1 and will turn my work. Now here again you're going to find your V's here. Now this is your first V. This is your first V. So for that one, we are not going to work on this one. So for round number 32, we'll insert our hook into this first stitch. We'll grab the yarn and we'll make our normal single crochet. And for the second stitch, we will insert our hook into this second strain of V here, and we will take the first strain of V of our second V, and we will grab the yarn and we will make our single crochet here. For the next stitch, the third stitch, we're going to make a normal single crochet here, and for the fourth one, again we're going to repeat our pattern here. So do one normal single crochet, and then for the next single crochets, take 2 parts of your V, 2 different V's, and grab your yarn and make your single crochet. So keep on repeating your pattern, and by the end of this round number 32, you're going to have your 31 stitches, and I'm going to meet you at the end somewhere here so that I will tell you what to do at the end stitches. And here it is. I have made my 29 stitches for my round number 32, and for stitch number 30, I'm going to take the second strain of my this V and the first strain of my this next V, and that's going to be my last V, and I will grab the yarn and will make my single crochet, and that is my stitch number 30. And for stitch number 31, I will have my normal single crochet, and that is how we build our pattern. And now we're going to repeat our round number 29, 30, 31 and 32, all 4 rows until our round number 50, and our round number 50 will come up in here. So I'm going to meet you after my round number 50, and keep on repeating your round number 29, 30, 31 and 32. Okay, so after my round number 50, my work looks like this, And now I'm going to chain one for my row number 51 and will turn my work, and I will have one single crochet on each stitch. So keep on doing one single crochet on each stitch, and we are going to have our normal single crochets. And here it is after my row number 51. For row number 52, I'm going to chain one and I'm going to turn my work. And now we are here on this stitch marker. So for that one, I'm going to take out my stitch marker. We're going to attach these two parts now. So make sure that your pockets are inside in here, and we are going to attach our work here at the back. Now for that one, as we have chained up one here, we're going to insert our hook into this first stitch, and we will take this front loop where we have put our stitch marker on. So we're going to take this front loop, and this is our first single crochet from the previous round. And now grab your yarn, and you're going to have two loops. Now yarn over and pull your yarn through two loops, and that's your first single crochet of your row number 52. And remember, we are attaching here these two works. Again, insert your hook into your next stitch and take the front loop of that previous row, and grab your yarn and keep on doing your single crochets, and keep on attaching your work, keep on doing your single crochets. And by the end of this row number 52, you're gonna have your 31 single crochets with this attachment in here. And I'm gonna meet you after my row number 52. And here it is after my row number 52. I have my 31 single crochets, and now for my row number 53 and 54, for that two rows, we're gonna have one single crochet on each stitch. So for that one, I'm gonna chain one, and here I'm doing my row number 53, and I will insert my hook into this first stitch, and will grab the yarn and will make my first single crochet. And I'm gonna have one single crochet on each stitch all the way till the end of this row. And this is my row number 53, and I'm going to repeat row number 53 to my row number 54. So row number 53 and 54, one single crochet on each stitch, and I'm going to meet you after my row number 54. And here it is after my row number 54. This is my work. And now for my row number 55, I will chain one and I will turn my work, and here I will work on this row which we previously have left and have made our back loop only stitches. So we have our stitch marker here, and we're going to take this front loops now. So for that one, for row number 55, chain one, insert your hook into this front loop of that previous row, and take the first stitch of your row number 54 and grab your yarn and make one single crochet. And now we are keep on doing this, so we are keep on attaching. So we will take this front loop and our stitch from the previous row, and we will put them together, and we will grab the yarn and we will make one single crochet on top of it. And by the end of this row number 54, we are gonna have row number 55, we are gonna have our 31 stitches, our 31 single crochets, and I'm going to meet you after my row number 55. And here it is after my row number 55, my 31 stitches are done. And now for my row number 56, I'm going to yarn over and I'm going to turn my work. And now I'm going to insert my hook into this first stitch, we'll grab the yarn and we'll make my one single crochet. And now for row number 56, I'm going to have one single crochet on each stitch. So in total, I'm going to have my 31 stitches, one single crochet on each stitch, all the way till the end of this project. And now, after doing my row number 56, I will repeat my row number 56 until my row number 58. So my row number 56, 57, and 58, these three rows, we're going to have one single crochet on each stitch. and I'm gonna meet you after my row number 58. So for the next 3 rows, including this one, you're gonna have 1 single crochet on each stitch. And here it is after my row number 58. My work looks like this. And now we're gonna repeat our row number 29, 30, 31 and 32 for this side as well until our row number 80. So we're gonna build the pattern again now, and to build that pattern we're gonna repeat those 4 rows which we have repeated into this one. And here it is. I have my 80 rows and my work looks like this from both sides. And now we're gonna have chain 1 and we're gonna have 1 more row for our single crochets. So I'm going to chain 1 and we'll insert my hook into this first stitch, and we'll grab my yarn and we'll make my first single crochet, and that will be my row number 81. And I'm going to have 1 single crochet all the way until the end of this row. So keep on doing 1 single crochet on each stitch for your row number 81. And here it is after my row number 81. For my row number 82, I'm going to chain 1, will insert my hook into this first stitch, and I will attach this work with this foundation chain where we have started up our work. So for that one, I'm going to insert my hook into this first stitch of my last row and into this foundation chain like this, and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make a single crochet here. And now we're going to have this attachment. So we're going to attach these 2 parts together on our row number 82, and we're going to make our 1 single crochet on each stitch from both the sides, and that's going to be our 31 single crochets. And here it is after my row number 82. I have attached this 2 parts, and our hook case is almost done, and it looks like this. We are here, and now we're going to attach these 2 parts. Now before attaching these 2 parts, let me open this one, and this is how it looks from the outer side. Now if you want to insert any hardboard or any canvas inside, you can put it to give it a support. But in case of you don't want to give a support and you want to leave it like this, it's completely all right. Now if you can see that layer is quite thick because of this outer layer. We have done it with the honeycomb stitch, and the honeycomb stitch itself has a very thick layer. Whenever you do a honeycomb stitch, it creates a very thick layer, and because we are using a hook size number 6 and because we are using a thicker yarn, the outer layer is really hard, and for that reason you don't need any support. But if you still need a support, if you still want to put a support in it, you can put a support. And for that one, just measure up your this length and this side. I've measured this up, and this is about 10 inches long and about 6 inches wide. So cut your canvas or cut your hardboard into that measure and put it inside like this. Put this inside, and then you will have to attach these 2 parts. Now here, this surface is really very uneven, and there is no particular idea how much or how many stitches it has to be. But here, as I have made this 31 stitches in here, I'm going to insert my hook into that same stitch for 1 more time, and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make my 1 extra stitch in there, so that it will give me a space to do this curve, and that's it. And now I'm going to insert my hook into this first stitch like this, and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make my 1 single crochet. Now you have to do 1 single crochet attaching both the parts. Now remember, these 2 parts are really very thick, so you have to take both the parts and insert your hook in this way and grab your yarn and make your single crochet. And here you have to use your idea how to do this stitches. Now there is no need to have exactly same stitches on any of your sides because we are not gonna put them together. So don't worry if you have some stitches plus or minus. You have 1-2 stitches plus or minus, it's gonna be completely all right. Just keep your idea that you have to do 1 single crochet in here after every few space, and both the parts are really very thick, so just keep in mind and keep on inserting your hook after some space in there and keep on doing your 1 single crochet, and I will meet you in here after doing this one part of the single crochets. And here it is. I have my 18 stitches in here, 18 single crochets, and I'm here in the middle, and here I'm gonna have another 2 single crochets. So that's 1 and 2, and I will try to have another 18 single crochets on this side as well. Now remember, if you have some stitches plus or minus, 1 or 2 stitches plus or minus, it's going to be completely all right. So don't worry about the stitches. Try to have your 18 stitches on this side as well, on this part as well. But if you don't have 18 stitches, or you have 17 or you have 19, don't worry at all, it's going to be completely all right. And here it is. I have my another 18 stitches on this side as well. Now I'm going to turn my work and I'm going to come up here. Now here we have attached our this 2 parts, and I'm going to insert my hook one more time into that same space, and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make my 1 more stitch here just to give a space here to make this curve. And I'm going to insert my hook into this first stitch. Now this is the front loop, and I will insert my hook into that stitch and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make my 1 single crochet. And now keep on doing 1 single crochet into that 1 loop, and you're gonna have your 31 single crochets on this side. And then we're gonna go again the same here, 18 stitches plus 2 stitches in the middle, and then another 18 stitches, and I'm gonna meet you here. Okay, so I've done my this last 18 stitches, and I'm gonna add up 1 more stitch here, as we haven't added up any stitches on this side. So I'm gonna add my last stitch here just to give a curve to this one. Now I'm gonna insert my hook into this first stitch. We'll grab the yarn and we'll make a slip stitch here. So here, as we have started our row number 82, we have connected our these 2 parts, and then we came here on the left side and we have made our 18 stitches, and then another 2 stitches at the middle, and then another 18 stitches, 1 extra stitch, another 31 stitches, 1 extra stitch, another 18 stitches, 2 stitches in the middle, then another 18 stitches, and here I've made my last extra stitch, plus then I've made 1 slip stitch. Now as we have made 1 slip stitch here, we're gonna keep on doing another slip stitch on this side, and we're gonna have next 16 slip stitches. So this is our first, that's our second, and that's our third slip stitch, and keep on doing your slip stitches for next 16 stitches. And here it is. I've made my 16 slip stitches, and now I'm gonna chain up for about 10. So it's 1, 2, and you'll have to check. Now I'm gonna use this button. I have these 2 buttons, and I'm gonna use this bigger one, and I'll put my button in here. So you'll have to check whether your 10 chains will be enough. So that's not gonna be enough. So I'm gonna chain up another 5 here. In total I'm gonna chain up 15. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now take the measurements of your button and your this size, because this size is quite bigger. So for that one, in case of you're putting in here, it should be going in. So here I'm gonna chain up 15. It depends, completely depends on your button size. I have a quite large button, but if you're having a small button, then make less chains. Now after chaining up whatsoever you want, after chaining up my this 15 chains, I'm going to insert my hook into that my 16th stitch for one more time, and we'll grab my yarn and we'll make another slip stitch in there like this. And now I'm gonna have another next 16 slip stitches on this side, and then I will continue doing my slip stitches. So on this side I'm gonna have my slip stitches. On this side again I'm gonna have my slip stitches, and on this side as well I'm gonna have my slip stitches, and I'm gonna meet you at the end here. So every single stitch you need to put a slip stitch, and then we're gonna finish up in here where we have started our slip stitches, and I'm going to meet you at the end here. And here it is. I've made my this last slip stitch, and now I'm going to insert my hook into my this first slip stitch, and we'll grab the yarn and we'll make my last slip stitch to finish up my this work. And then I'm going to cut my yarn and secure your last stitch. Now put your loose ends in. So here there are 2 loose ends, and now here I'm gonna put my this button as well for this one. So put your button here, and I'm gonna meet you after that. And here it is. It's all done. And I hope you like my today's tutorial. If you like, please like, share, and comment on my videos. And please subscribe to my channel. And I will see you into the next video. Till then, bye.